Why is it not showing up on screen now? Hi. Oh, there we go. No, that's not it. Stop. Hold on. Anyways, hi. Hello, dear travelers. As you can see, we cannot start a game without scuff ever. So, anyways, that's it. Hello, dear travelers. Welcome aboard. I am alternatively the star inhabiting the abandoned space station, and today we are playing Stellifier. Yes, we're just gonna restart this. It's fine. It's fine. Anyways, we are playing Stellifier, which is a visual novel otome where we date idol boys. My volume too high? My volume might be too high. Nice. And yeah, that's the premise. I have, as you saw from the save files, I have played this before. I haven't finished it yet. And when I played it on my own time, I had thoughts of like, oh, I'm gonna romance this guy. Didn't happen. I ended up going down another one's route by pure accident because of the way the route system is set up. I do like the route system setup. It's just I apparently cannot make good choices. Oh, I could have just. Anyways. It's whatever. Yes. Go. Okay. Also, this is a stream where I will have to do a lot of talking because it's a visual novel, which would mean sensibly that I have water. Unfortunately, I do not have water. So, we're gonna see how that goes. As for plans on how long this is gonna go for, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna go for as long as I feel like it. I'm not gonna lie, I almost I do wanna play this game. But if you missed it, I started playing Cult of the Lamb and I was like, what if I like, like just as a joke, you know, it's like, well, what if I just change Stellifier to play Cult of the Lamb? But no. I said we would be playing Stellifier, so we will be playing Stellifier. Yeah. Anyways, that's it. I did the last time I played this was like months ago. Like I played it like when it dropped because I backed a Kickstarter for it, so I got it like the moment it dropped. I don't remember half of the things happening, so we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna see who we end up romancing. Who knows? I certainly don't. Maybe we fail tremendously and romance nobody. So they say their name means to turn into a star. It seems fitting, doesn't it? Considering how years ago they were the rising stars who'd found their light almost overnight. There was a time when every melody was theirs, and their world knew their name. No, my name. And it was Stellifier. There was Frey, the charming face of Stellifier, with a voice made of starlight and the soulful gaze of a prince coming to your rescue. There was Hawkins, the wild heart of Stellifier, with the spirit of a fiery blaze, and Hurricane in those devilish hands of a musical magician. See, I'm not gonna say it, and chat, you can't say it either. But the hand this time with the finger nails painted like this in these specific colors. I'm just saying, if someone connects the dots, then they connected the dots. I'm not gonna say it, and chat's not gonna say it either. However, if we connect the dots, we connect them. And then there was Michael, the ethereal mind of Stellifier, with the face of an astral angel and a sense of mystery behind that knowing smile. By sunrise, however, the tabloids claimed that these stars had burned too brightly and would never shine again. But they had something of a Cinderella story, to be honest. As I wait for my appointment, I watch two talk show hosts debate on the screen. For one thing, ordinary schoolboys don't just land private auditions for one of Oracle Ship's top producers, but of course, they didn't exactly go without some vital connections. Oracle Ship, the previous label Stellifier was designed under, and is known for manufacturing idols. Well, sure, that's where they knew their first member from, right? Let's forget about the fourth member, because we really just think of the three these days. Drama. Nobody's refuting their talent, but let's be real here. You love to see it when they rise to the top, but you hate to see it when they fall, am I right? Yet, in a stunning twist, here we are now, ready to watch them seize the stage again with their newest concert plans at the Musica Prix, a premier music concert showcasing several major musical artists where Stellifier will be debuting again. Well, now, let's be honest. Could anybody have We just started. Now, let's be honest. Could anybody have ever predicted a comeback from them? I know I didn't. Well, why not? Most of those one-hit wonders have reunited at some point. What makes them any different? Don't you remember? It's because the segment I was watching suddenly changes to an in-house commercial. I look over at the sharply dressed woman who had walked up to the screen, changing the channel. A brief glance at her employee badge and I realize that I'm moments away from the real showtime. It's Altair, isn't it? From Far Bright magazine? I'm Lorelei Alson, Stellifier's manager at H20. H20? Okay. No, it's okay. It's a pleasure to meet you. You come highly recommended after that feature on Chocolate Juliet. We were all quite impressed, especially with how Farbright covered Abigail's journey of going solo. Well, that was quite a huge moment for the group. It really was. Abigail's been working on new material lately, while her sister Lee is now co-leading Chocolate Juliet with some new members. So, people are definitely watching them, and I know the public is waiting to see what Stellifier is also going to be doing as well. If you ask me, I know Stellifier will be in good hands with you. I'm sure you've done your homework on us, so we might as well cut to the chase. Speaking of which, I believe they should be ready for you now. I stare out into the empty lobby, hoping I'll soon spot someone coming out of one of these myriad of rooms. Instead, Lorelei walks ahead and points to the end of the hall. You'll have to follow me. Now, before you meet with them, we've got some ground rules to cover. First things first, you've signed the contracts, so I don't think I need to say more about our privacy policies. Not that I think you would break the NDA, but don't take it personally if Arden and I feel compelled to watch you like a hawk. So as we agreed over the phone, we've given clearance for you to review their schedules. That said, we can't accommodate any last-minute interviews without prior scheduling, not unless one of them decides to go missing again. Again? Like clockwork, we both stop to the sound of a motorcycle roaring outside. I wait for Lorelei to lead us forward, but I can sense what she is resisting the urge to roll her eyes before she continues walking. And Arden insisted all three of them were in rehearsal. Hold on, when did I ever say that? To my surprise, a dashing man awaits us at the door with a grin. There's an air of regalness to him, if such princes and kings in fairy tales ever wore metal chokers and weather denim jeans. A king of rock, indeed. As impressed as I am, Lorelei looks ready to scold him. Arden, please don't tell me that he didn't attend rehearsal again. Well, he and I came to a gentleman's agreement. That's not what we scheduled. Of course it wasn't, but I only accepted his offer after I gave him a lecture and he actually listened. Come on, Lorelei. It was either that or having him rattle the other two. He already knows he can't miss another one. He sure can't, not when they haven't mastered the choreography yet and we're down a week. At least you still got to work with the other two. Well. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that just now. Does anybody actually realize that we're in crunch time? As in you're forgetting how some of us tend to prep before a concert, Lorelei? That said, I'll take full responsibility for today, as usual. He then winks in my direction, taking notice of me. Sorry about the chaos. I hope we haven't scared you away yet. On the contrary, Altair here has probably seen worse in this industry. I'm sure there's some other group worthy enough to take the crown for at least prepared. At least there better be. If there is, I'm sure you understand that I'm not at liberty to say. For journalistic integrity, of course. Oh, so Lorelei wasn't lying at all. You do know your way around here. Well then, any chance we've crossed paths before? Arden gives me another daring grin, one that I instantly recognize from my magazine's latest celeb sightings at the Parfait Club. Alas, I wasn't the lucky photographer sent out to watch Arden that day, but I know his name, and his music. As if realizing the same thing, Arden offers me his hand first. So, do you ever listen to Soteria, or are we just not your type? Actually, Endless Oaths came up on my shuffle while on the way here. I just wish someone had told me that besides you front-running for Soteria, you're also mentoring other groups now? Oh, well, this situation is more of a favor, a special case, if you will. One that I'd prefer doesn't take up more than just a sentence in your story. Arden exchanges glances with Lorelei. Let's leave it to Altair to decide. As far as I'm aware, Farfight magazine isn't a gossip column. It sure isn't, and we pride ourselves for it. So it sounds like I won't be having to corner you about that while you're here. As I'm sure you're aware, privacy is the most precious thing that management can provide for a group. That, and a fair contract. Both of which do happen to be things we do our best to offer around here. Well, Soteria has no complaints here. Plus, I know the office likes having me around, and I also know a certain trio who does too. If that's really true, then they better actually start showing their appreciation by attending their rehearsals with you. I know you hate being anything to them but the cool big brother, but that's not all they need right now. Quite frankly, the last thing we want to see is Altair covering our label's tragic rise and fall after those three fumbled the comeback of the century. The comeback of the century. Do you think it sounds too dramatic? Give me a week and I'll find a better headline for you. I'm liking you already. Maybe I should request you to write a piece on Soteria for our next single. I'm sure that's something you two can discuss later, but right now, we're in dire need of some great press for those three. At least I know there's two of them taking it seriously in the practice room right now. Yeah, they're still at it from what it sounds like, even though I told them rehearsal was over for the day. See, Lorelei? They're actually taking things seriously. Don't smirk at me. You only get one smirk, and that's for after a successful concert. Fair enough. I'll have my best I told you so for next week. Well then, I'm sure Altair wants to see what we've been dealing with. The two of them share another look as they lead me to the practice room. As soon as we arrive inside, I'm surrounded by a familiar melody. It's one that doesn't just take me back to moments ago in the lobby, but to a time when my own dreams of becoming a writer were new and bright as a teen. Let's spiral into stardust and they'll never find us here. In a paradise of our own design with moons and rings and tears. So, here you are again, Stellifier. Bray, Hawkins, and Michael, all standing in the same order. Together, they rehearse in a line, their movements effortlessly in sync and their vocals melding into one another's. One by one, I can recognize them from their old routines, but something's different. Sure, they still sound like the old Stellifier, as close to the way they used to be. But aside from how many years it's been, they've clearly been taking their rehearsals much more seriously than Lorelei had me expecting. Nobody can claim that some of those muscles on them simply grew overnight, and that also goes for those vocal skills. Lorelei comes to watch beside me, as she remains just as silently in awe as I do. Chuckling, Arden pokes in to stand between the two of us. Am I allowed to say I told you so before the week's up now? Oh hush, they're good, but still not perfect. Also haven't forgotten that one of them wasn't there for the whole rehearsal and seems to have snuck in just now. Now, I don't disagree with that opinion, but they're not exactly a lost cause either. I don't know how they could ever be a lost cause to begin with. They already come with more than just experience, so what more could they be missing? Just keep watching, Altair. Maybe then you'll have your answer. My eyes continue to dart between the three of them, yet they're all too focused to even notice us. It's not until the song ends that they finally come to a stop to catch their breaths. Despite their exhaustion, they can't help but grin surprised at each other. Before they can congratulate themselves, Lorelei interrupts with a single clap. Finally, it seems like we're getting somewhere, but let's talk about that later after your break. Right now, we've got some new business to go over. Snatching a towel, Hawkins is the first to break from the group. Before anything else, he catches my eye and shoots a grin. I wait for him to come this way, but he walks straight past us to snatch his water bottle and towel off the bench. He takes a single swig of water, then with a single groan, he dusses the rest of the bottle over himself. Oh, God, fucking hell. Okay. The water trickles down his face and neck as he sweeps his hair back in slow, hypnotic moves, knowing very well that both Lorelei and I are still waiting and watching. Why are you like this? So much for expecting a hello. His idea of a greeting was giving us a full-blown show. I'm sure even Arden has something to say. Wait, where did Arden go? Before I can search for him, Hawkins finally turns back to us. So, I'm guessing Lorelei's brought you here to make me yours? Excuse me? I blink back in surprise as Hawkins runs the towel over his face with a chuckle. So it is true then, that I'm really going to be all yours? When's the soonest you'll want me? Tomorrow? Tonight? I don't mind whenever, as long as you don't get too impatient. And again, maybe I might give you a little more if you were. Wait, what are you saying? I look over to Lorelei, only to find her with her fist balled at her sides. Hawkins, if you dare give Altair any trouble here this week, I will make it my personal mission to send you back into whichever symphonic hell you came from. What trouble? I'm just saying that I'm all his to profile to his heart's delight. I don't know what you're thinking, but you care to share, Lorelei? I've got my eyes on you. Don't think I don't know about you skipping rehearsal today either. Well, I had errands. Shooting the breeze at the Buffet Club isn't an errand, Hawkins. Now stop peacocking and at least properly introduce yourself to Altair. Oh, he's blushing, I just noticed. Bro got called down and started blushing. Otherwise, you'll be the one having to break it to the other two as to why the only press who'll want to cover us after this is Chatterbox Weekly. Hold on, what? Chatterbox Weekly? Oh, the horror. Whatever will we do then? Cracking a laugh at his own sarcasm, Hawkins sets the bottle aside to offer to shake my hand. Seriously though, it's nice to finally meet you, Altair. Once Lorelei told me we were gonna be probed for a week, I started getting flashbacks to a certain spring break trip all over again. And why is that exactly? Well, if you're really asking, then... He stops as soon as he notices Lorelei keeping a watchful eye just as she promised. Well, let's just say that if you want to make that our first interview session, I'd be happy to oblige. I will say though, Lorelei didn't do you justice by not telling us that you're smoking. Don't you have some rehearsals to be making up for, Hawkins? Sure, let's go with that. You just keep on giving Altair the grand old tour, unless he'd prefer letting me take him around. All of a sudden, we're interrupted by an angelic voice rising above the chatter. At the other end of the studio, Michael rehearses to their heart's content by serenading the wall. Oh, I love you. You're so cute. My Pookie. If you've been waiting for this moment, know that I won't let go. Because tonight we become one, to ever dream, to ever stellify. Whoa, even Lorelei actually seems impressed. I know Michael's profile says they've been musically trained since childhood, but I'm sure even the wall can vouch that they've never heard a voice like that in the studio before. The only one who seems rattled is Hawkins, as he wrestles with tearing himself away from Michael's concert to chide them. Oi, Sylph, can you keep it down a little? You're making it a little tough for me to hear myself in mid-seduction. At once, Michael stops and gives a sweeping turn. Oh, I should have come by to stop you sooner from making any progress at all with our new guest. I still would have found a way. Somehow, I highly doubt that while I'm around. With a knowing chuckle of their own, Michael gracefully steps in between us to offer their hand. I believe you must be Altair. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. I love you. Lorelei has said nothing but great things about you, but of course, I myself am already familiar with your publication's work. It's fantastic. Hold on a sec, you are? How do I not know this? And yet we all live together. Oh, Hawkins. But you do know about it. I showed you the feature Farbright magazine made of my parents the other day, didn't I? Oh. That one. The one where they picked the photo of your mother looking extra clean that day. That better be exactly what you were going to say before that pause, Hawkins. Otherwise, I'll be making you the one to clean the apartment alone for once. Or maybe I'll just have to have Altair help me find another way to make you pay. Michael shares a smile with me, hoping I'll partake in their joke. So it really is true that what they say about Michael's smile. I find myself staring almost longer than I should until Lorelei shoots a casual glare at Hawkins. The break is almost over, Hawkins. You're already on the hot seat as it is, so you might as well get moving. As for you, Michael, once rehearsal's over, there's a few notes Arden and I need for you to look over for tomorrow's press statement. I could take a look at them now? You can wait. You're on break time. Or I could just go look at them now. If you show me where, and we can cross it off as done. Knowing that they're about to get their way, Michael sneaks another smile at me as they make their way towards the door first. 1 second, the beast wishes to be released. Do you mind taking a detour with us, Altair? As I'm sure you can tell, their highness also has a way of testing my management style around here. Not just Michael. No, that's just Michael all of the time. I can't fucking read for shit today. The only one they'll sometimes give a pass to is Frey. As Hawkins mentioned his name, I look around to notice that Frey isn't inside. Where did he go? As I follow them out into the lobby, I notice Arden coming out of another office. Spotting us, he briskly shuts the door behind him, but only I seem to notice it creak back open. While the others are reviewing the press statement in the hallway, I step towards the door and spot another familiar shadow inside. Walking closer, I see Frey hunched over the desk with papers strewn about. He seems more like a teacher when he's like this than a musician. Something has put him in a writing mood. Could he be working on their next song for after the concert, or could it even be for the concert itself? I can tell he knows I'm close by, my curiosity preparing to meet his eyes. As I approach him, I see what he's working on, and they're not lyrics at all. You're grading papers during your break? At once he sets his pen down to meet my gaze. Perhaps I am, but I'm also writing lyrics if that's what you're looking for. He casually points over to one of the strewn sheets, although I'm still fixating on the half-graded essay he's got before him. Wait, I saw that you saw what? That once it came out that the great Stellifier was coming back, that I'd quit my teaching career just like that? Imagine having him as a teacher. Ooh. Okay, so I wasn't crazy in remembering that I read you had become an English professor at Procyon University after Stellifier disbanded. But what about your schedule? What about my schedule? As long as I'm keeping to what they want from me, I can still teach and grade between breaks. For now, that is. Fucking hell. Ow. Chuckling, Hawkins and Michael come over to join the both of us. I can rarely tell if Frey wishes Hawkins hadn't made the comment, as he starts putting the essays away. You see, Altair, we have a little arrangement with the prince here. While we did tell him that he could have quit teaching cold turkey, he insisted that the school could keep him on, whatever it takes. But it's come after the concert, and you know what that means, Prince Frey? That you'll finally stop trying to make drunk apartment karaoke sing on Wednesday nights? No, the karaoke stays, and also because even Michael likes it. But I don't. Shh, yes you do. How else can we ever get a rendition of Soteria's Endless Oaths out of you? I can think of a few other ways, and I'm sure they don't require you giving Frey any more reason to be questioning his decisions. Despite what Hawkins says, he and I both do understand how delicate the situation has been for Frey. None of us exactly had this reunion in mind until a few months ago. To be fair, you two hadn't, but I did. And I'm here, aren't I? And wait, who are you exactly? Frey looks straight at me, waiting for me to answer when Michael steps in. Frey, this is Altair from Farbright magazine. You remember Farbright, don't you? Their publication did a brief feature on us when we first started. They've even featured my parents as well. Oh, you're so cute! I love you, you're so cute! And I'm sure even you remember when Lorelei said we were going to have someone shouting us for interviews here and there throughout the week. Now, what she didn't say was what Cutie Altair was going to be. Hawkins, I'll always wait until later. Frey, you're just as bad as he is sometimes. Well, he already has one person telling him no, so I know better than to take that spot from you. I guess that just makes me the middleman in this situation, doesn't it? You really are always in the middle. Sorry, my brain went in a direction it should not be going. Oh, but it wasn't always like that, remember? Back when there were 4 of us. Oh, why would you say that? I don't think that's a good thing to say. Yeah! As soon as he says it, Frey pulls back in his seat. He grows quiet, even as Hawkins cracks yet another one of his casual laughs. Come on, you prince. We need you, and don't ever forget that. I know. Despite the assurance, I still can't make out Frey's expression anymore, or even Michael's. Seeing Michael, they quickly know to assume a smile. But it's one that's built more like a wall than an open door. And with Frey, he's still searching for a way out of his head, and I'm not sure he's realized that he's still slightly retreating from them. And their first member, I remember their name from my prior research, but will I ever get to hear these 3 talk about them? Just then, Lorelei comes snucking in. Break time's over, so you know what that means. Arden's waiting for you at the studio. Make sure to make it count. Oh, I'm sure we will. Now that we know we've got another pair of good-looking eyes watching us. Chuckling... Oh, I'm gonna end fucking stream. Jesus Christ, I cannot talk. Chuckling... Whatever. Hawkins leads the way out. Michael follows closely behind, but before they go, they take my hand one more time. It really has been a pleasure, Altair. I look forward to getting to know your process, and then perhaps I'll show you mine. Having finally I can't fucking talk for shit. Having finally stashed his grading away, Frey is the last to head out. As he does, our eyes meet, and he walks straight past me. Well, I guess I know which one's going to be the toughest to crack. Altair? The way he says my name almost startles me, but it's nothing compared to the intensity behind his gaze. Yes, Frey? You like that I have an impact on you? You don't have to tell me now, even if I already know what your answer is. And with that, Frey simply smiles and heads back into the studio. Bro, what the fuck do you mean by that? Lost for words, I take a moment for myself before following them. So, this is how my week's really going to start. Finally starting to make sense why Perrault said that Stellifier's management wasn't accepting just any featured stories on the group. I'm sure they've got their fair amount of interviews lined up, but they've surely never crossed my researching style before. There's no doubt that Lorelei's going to have their schedule ready for me to look over right after this. Still, who really knows what this week will bring for all of us? As the thin light reaches through the office window, I notice one of Frey's papers lying on the floor. I'm sure he's going to be needing that. As I pick it up, I can't help but start reading it, and reading on, until when I finally finish, the last 2 lines linger on my own lips. Melting hearts will escape into the last time, when my tears will cease your fears, and will stare into the eyes of eternity, my stardust butterfly. So let's find heaven now and together, my stardust butterfly. Holding the lyrics tightly, I make my way back to the studio's doors as I hear them resume the rehearsal. One by one, they inspire one another with their seemingly boundless energies while taking on their solos. When they're performing, it's as if nothing else seems to matter. But still, no one's ever said why this couldn't have been the life they've always known. I can tell that's not even the story that Lorelei and Arthur want for the world to know about Stellifier. But without the past, then what is their future now? If they're truly ready, then perhaps this is the time for the world to truly know them. But this time, I'll be the one to chronicle their quest for the stars. Hi, buddy! What do I get? Oh, look at them! Look at them. Oh, my Pookie. Ooh. Pumpkin. Hi? Okay. I was gonna mention that whoever we got to show up first in this is who we would be trying to go after. So I guess we're going for Hawkins. Or not? Why? Why is it not? The game might be bugged. Am I doing something wrong? Let me quickly save. Oh, okay. I need to actually drag it. Okay, I was like so confused by that. Okay. Let's do... You know what? Let's do this. I wasn't confused. I saw you just had to click and doing it automatically. Finally, I'm almost to the H20 offices. Lorelei has scheduled time for me to interview Hawkins, who should already be there by now. But with today's morning check-in having run a little later than usual, I hope I'm not late. Racing down the block, I'm just about to enter the office doors when out of nowhere a motorcycle goes off beside me with a shattering roar. Oh my stars! Without realizing, I brace myself, my back tucked tightly under my arm. Until all of a sudden, a familiar cackle rings out. Now that's a phrase I've never gotten out of somebody before. Come to think of it, it might be my new favorite one. Hawkins? I'm guessing most people don't mind how your motorcycle sounds like the apocalypse is coming? Oh wait, now that's an even better comparison for Madame. Might I say? She loves it when you talk sweet nothings in her ear. Sorry, but Madame? Grinning broadly from ear to ear, Hawkins presents a sputtering crimson bike to me like a bewitched man on his wedding day. Altair? Meet Madame. Madame, meet Altair. She's a feisty one and a bit of a biter, but when she purrs, I'll do just about anything to ride her. Please tell me you were referring only to Madame just now? Sure, let's go with that. Anyway, I'm guessing we're heading off to Preston Michael today with the cues. Actually, I'm here for you. Don't get my hopes up. Really, I am. As a matter of fact, I have my questions ready here for... Oh, wait a second. The cues are for me today? Doesn't Lorelei tell you anything? She sure tells me plenty, but you think I remember she said... If she had said that some cutie was gonna be sequestering me at this hour. You better watch what this cutie has up his sleeve. Oh, hey, I know that look. Don't give me that look. I'm not the bad guy here for Lorelei mixing up my your writing times with my focusing hours. Like I said, you could always go see if Mikhail has the time to play with you. And heaven knows, they need the playtime. Unless... Without warning, Hawkins tosses a mint green helmet at me. To my surprise, I manage to catch it as he taunts me with another charming laugh. You up for a ride? I want the pink helmet. I find myself staring between Hawkins and his helmet, knowing well that he's watching for me, waiting for even the slightest sign. In that case, I want the pink helmet. Hell yeah, whoa, wait, the pink's mine! That's part of the rules here, didn't they tell you that? It goes with the whole scene I've got going on, you know, with Madame. The main one's always been for the willing volunteer, while the pink's for the mastermind. All the more reason why I prefer the pink one. Oh, so you're saying that you're the one calling the shots today? I am the one going to be asking the questions, right? Biting his tongue, Hawkins teeters against the seat of his bike. Something tells me that he's never gotten this far as a reporter. But that begs the question, when exactly did the others give in to him? Fine, you get the pink. But no scuffing, okay? You didn't put so much as a scratch, and that's like taking a knife to my heart. Still, if this is what it takes to get you to come along. Dare I wonder what else you'd be down for today? Let's focus on the questions first, okay? Sure. Slipping on his helmet, Hawkins lets Madame finish his sputting before hopping on. I'm on Altair. Our ride's waiting. As much as I wasn't expecting a joyride during work hours, he is promising an interview. Now I just hope my notes won't be flying out of my hands when he goes full throttle. Preparing for said full throttle, I decide to secure notes inside the front of my jacket before taking my seat behind him. At once he takes hold of my hands and smoothly guides them around his waist, resting just below his leather riding jacket. Feeling secure and snuggly now? I'm feeling something, that's for sure. So am I. Which is why we better get rolling. Keeping a hand over mine, Hawkins sets Madame off at full speed down the block's battle cry. Hi-ya! Now this is what I call a world-class ride. Taking hold, Hawkins lunges on the pedal as we make our way past a sea of droning skyscrapers and quaint streets in need of a sudden thrill. Lucky for them, it looks like they're finally getting one. Oh god, he's riding like we're the only ones on the road. Hawkins, there's a speed limit here for a reason. Oh, there sure is. The thing is, you're gonna have to give me a reason to slow down. For instance, you got a question for me yet? Holding on tight, I fight past the wind thrashing on my hair to catch a peek at my notes. At this rate, if I pull them out anymore, they're just going to blow away. Well, in that case, let's wing it. I'm sleepy. Do you put all reporters through this? Pushing the hair of my eyes, the first thing I see is Hawkins' laser focus on the road, his muscles tightening within my grasp. So tell me, do you put all reporters through this? Would you be surprised if I said Madame allows only my favorite people to ride her? And now I'm one of those people? Here I saw this is actually your idea of revenge against the press. Revenge? Sure, the press hasn't always got on my good side, but it's never for lack of trying. If anything, you could almost say they've looked out for me more than the people who used to promise my secrets would be safe with them. But that's always the case with the keepers of your heart, am I right? You tell me. My god, you're cute. Not to mention, a lot more feelers than I was expecting. And believe me, I've met my fair share of adventurers, and yet some of them still refuse to get on Madame with me. I wonder why. Kinda makes you a gem in my eyes, if I do say so. With the wind clapping on our faces, we can barely get a read of where we're speeding off to across the city. We just keep going. What to where only Hawkins seems to know. Or does he? Hawkins, you're not making us ride in circles, are you? I thought you said you wanted time for an interview? Before I can say anything, he shakes his head with a laugh. Okay, now I'm just messing with you. As a matter of fact, I do have a destination in mind, but you're just gonna have to trust me. As if knowing that I was going to start again, Hawkins speeds up until the wind and engine are all that's blaring in my ears. Clearly, this is his strategy to keep me wondering until he finally decides to put on the brakes. Which, who knows when this will possibly— Whoa! But once Hawkins pulls up to a sidewalk with a screeching halt. His hand finally releases from mine, as I can finally remove my helmet. Brushing the last of my hair away, I can finally see that we've arrived at a quaint, bookish cafe, a far cry from what I was expecting out of Hawkins. Wait, is this one of your regular spots? Come now, Altair. You and I both know this place couldn't scream Hawkins if it wanted to. Now, the bar on the corner on 5th and 9th, however, it's a different story. If that's the case, then why are we here? Well, because... To my surprise, Hawkins swiftly removes his helmet just as the cafe door opens. Out comes a familiar face glued to her phone, but not one I've met before in person. But surely, I've seen her countless times across magazine spreads and music videos to recognize her alluring gaze from even behind her cap and mask. Wait a second. That's not really Abigail, is it? The Abigail from Chocolate Juliet? What? You don't think the Abigail doesn't mingle with the commoners every once in a while? If you still think you're dreaming, then by all means feel free to pinch me. Better yet. Oi, ringlet! In an instant, Abigail glances up from her phone before she starts rushing towards us. Or more like she's running straight for Hawkins, and only Hawkins. Abigail stops short of approaching the motorcycle, yet I notice the way she's looking upon it with a certain fondness in her eyes. God, I should have known all that racket was you. Please tell me you're finally heading to get her oil changed. Oh, don't act like you wouldn't be jumping at the chance to ride my beauty again. As it turns out, though, I'm on business right now. Oh? Where's your rehearsal going on today? Actually, it's another kind of business. Abigail finally passes a glance at me, albeit the quickest one I've ever seen out of someone. Through her mask, I can see the way her lips purse together. So, who's this one, Hawkins? You said to bring him here to this case. Then should I be telling Lorelei about this? Huh, I dare you to tell Lorelei. All you gotta know about my partner in crime here is that he happens to have a good sense of timing, that's for sure. As for what timing he's talking about, I wish I knew. My remarks startled Abigail for a moment, prompting her to study me a bit more closely. Wait, do we know each other? Eh? Why pester with him with questions when you can just ask Lorelei? I'm sure it'll be a nice buffer in between you two chatting about how stunning I look in leather. A small nostalgic smile creases through Abigail's mask. I suddenly find myself looking between her and Hawkins, noting the sudden change in atmosphere. I suppose both of their groups do go way back. Chocolate Juliet did debut just before Stellifier the first time around, and had even performed in holiday shows together. But there's something to be said about these two mingling about out here in the wild after all this time, no matter who might see them. In fact, is that what they're hoping for? I quietly watch as Hawkins holds onto Abigail's smile, long enough to pop a question at her. Ringlet, do you really think I don't know why you're here? Please, you know I'm a wreck without my morning latte. If that were true, then you'd be getting your fix at the spot on 7s like usual until just like a week. If my intel's right on the money this time, are you sure this doesn't have anything to do with this being a certain prince's favorite spot? Pray tell who your intel is, because they've sure got it wrong. I'll have you know I've been to this cafe plenty of times before last week. That's not what I've been hearing. So why not let me claim my victory already and just admit the truth? Without warning, he nudges at me to keep watching as Abigail continues to teasingly shake her head at him. Nonetheless, he keeps persisting as a signature grin grows upon his face. This, my dear Tell, would be the time to be taking notes. That is, if you wanted to cover something juicy. Wait a second, what did you mean by cover? Before anything, Hawkins rolls his eyes towards another familiar face strolling by in mask and sunglasses. Not only does Abigail perk up, but the three of us watch in awe as Frey finally goes dead in his tracks once he realizes he has an audience. Unable to contain his laughter, Hawkins breaks the ice with a wave. Morning, Prince! Said you wouldn't see me till later, didn't you? Should I be worried that I am? You're not about to tell me that Lorelei wants us at the stew now, are you? No, you're good on time. I was just letting Altair on some one-on-one time with yours truly. And, well, you know, giving them some noteworthy material. Hawkins can't resist giving Abigail a look. Fighting a glare, she strides to back away from the motorcycle, waiting for Frey to spot her. Yet to her shock, he strides past her and stops in front of me. Ooh. Hawkins, please tell me you at least lent Altair's Mikhail's helmet? Because if you gave him yours, then so help me God. Relax, I know how to play it safe. You of all people should know that. You're damn right I know enough, which is why I'm even asking in the first place. Before I know it, Frey is offering me his hand to get me off the bike. Come on, Altair, I'll drive you back instead. From the corner of my eye, I notice Abigail takes another step towards him. For a split second, she tried to catch Hawkins' gaze, but he's already got a hand on my lap trying to keep Frey at bay. Hey now, Altair still has some questions for me. I'm not about to cut our interview short. I'm pretty sure he can ask you whatever's left once you're back at the studio. Frey, listen to me. I'll take Altair back. Meanwhile, you should go get your coffee. Preferably uninterrupted. At first, Frey gives him a quizzical look until his gaze finally falls onto Abigail, who for the past minute has been debating on whether to stay or make her escape. Did Frey not really notice her until now? Squinting, Frey greets her with a cordial nod, the kind reserved for strangers. And exes. Ooh! Hey. Bisexual king. Frey, I thought we were way past saying hi like strangers. Okay, then. How does good morning sound? I just didn't realize you came this far out here for coffee. Unless you're working nearby today? Actually, Suddenly she looks over to me before noticing Hawkins gleaming like a cat on his bike. You know, I think I'm already late. Let's catch up later sometime, Frey. Coffee on me? Only if neither of us are busy. Abigail thinks it over for a moment, yet she parts before any of us can get a good look at her expression. Not that I need to see her face to know that she might be rethinking her morning coffee routine right now. When she's disappeared down the block, Hawkins gets ready to slip his helmet back on. Come on, Abigail, girl, stand up. You broke up. You broke up already. Stand up, girl. Move on. Get yourself a girlfriend. So, tell me, Frey, what do you think's worse? Having a student find your favorite spot, or Abigail? Please, don't start. Talk about irony. If only she knew why you drove all this way for a latte. Heaven forbid she ever tries to claim the perfect club, but at least the owners and I go way back. Makes you wonder if I should start buddying up with the cafe owner here to let you sip your lattes in peace. Oh, was the breakup bad? Ooh. Really, it's fine. She can come this way if she wants, but... For losing himself in thought, Frey turns back to me. Are you sure you don't want me to drive you back, Altair? Hey now, I already told you, I've got it covered. I'll bring him back safe and sound to the studio. So you'll actually stop for red lights? I need you to swear to me, Hawkins. It's bad enough that I'm always late to offering Mikhail a ride back instead of taking that death trap of yours. Aw, come on. You know you love my death trap. But if it makes you feel better, I'll do what I must to bring our dear reporter back in one piece. Although, in 2 pieces should be acceptable. 1 piece, Hawkins. 1 piece. Oh my god, the 1 piece? Fine, you have my word. I'll be seeing you soon then. While nodding back, it wasn't enough to stop Frey from checking the bike over one more time as I slipped my helmet back on. As Hawkins revs up the engine, Frey leans into my ear with a whisper. Promise me you'll tell me if he goes above the speed limit? Oh buddy, he already has multiple times. Seeing the look upon his face, my first instinct is to assure him however I can. I'll have my report waiting for you later, okay? Perfect. With that, he steps aside as the bike starts moving, and in the blink of an eye, we're back chasing the cityscape. As soon as we're out of range, Hawkins is quick to gain speed. Only this time, I notice his boots twitching against the brakes. So, you do know how to follow the rules. Every now and then, I can be a reasonable man. I only went at the speed of light for you earlier because you seemed in dire need of a morning thrill. And you thought that thrill would include exposing that the former leader of Chocolate Juliet has been lurking around for Frey? That was just a bonus revelation. I've got to admit though, it sounds like you picked it up much faster than the prince did. Then again, he was rather fast in trying to get you out of my clutches. He was practically trying to scale up to rescue you from the tower, huh? Okay. 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 And here I am, trapped with you. Does this make you the dragon? Only if I can insist on being the hot dragon sorcerer. Fine then, that's exactly what you are. To my surprise, an unfamiliar silence falls between us as Hawkins keeps his eyes solely on the red light, taking its time to turn green. Did I say something wrong just now? I debate for a few moments on what to say, until finally I settle on tightening my arms around his waist. At once, Hawkins breaks his focus to glance back at me momentarily, just long enough to let me catch sight of his curling smile. I guess I really am a sorcerer, huh? I have to be one to have corrupted you into thinking that I'm one of the good guys. Now it's my turn to give him a look. Did I do my best to hide it as I prod back at him? Wait, don't look at me. Just keep your eyes on the road, alright? Gladly, your majesty. But remember, I also know how to multitask. As much fun as Hawkins is having and teasing me, his gaze drifts back towards our next destination. Pressing a hand to remind, he gears up for the rush, waiting for us past the light. You better hold on tight and get more of those questions ready, because now I'm about to show you a real thrill. Woo! Okay, hold on, I need to take... My throat is giving out on me and I would like to at least finish day 1 on this stream. I will for sure make sure I have water next stream. I just genuinely could not get some this time around. Oh! Damn, okay. Oh, you can't click on them, okay. Oh. Aww. I like this one, it's cute. Mm. Sorry, I'm taking a break because I have like the full thing in my mouth. Mm. Oh, let's look at this. Oh. I like this one. Do you have one with glasses, sir? No. Oh, my god, looks so cute! I'm gonna go with this one for him. Okay, he only has a smile. Okay. There's only a few reasons why anybody would ever find me at the Buffet Club during a busy workday. And if I'm not here for Stellifier, there's for only one other person. My dearest friend and idol aficionado, Elijah. So, what are they really like? You're just going to have to wait until the article's published. Aw, don't give me that. You know I've been waiting for much longer than that for them. Do you remember how I was the one who tried to start a Stellifier club back in school? How could I forget when you tried making me your vice president? I'm still mad that they didn't want to certify us. I guess it didn't help anyway that they disbanded so quickly after that, so we would have only been in session for like 2 months out of the school year. 2 months is still 2 months though. And you know how mad I was about them. Now, to think that my best friend of forever is the one getting to spend his waking moments with them, seeing where they sing, relax, and maybe even shower. Shower? I've never said anything about watching them shower. Hush, let me dream. Better yet, why don't we just switch jobs already? That would require you to have studied journalism with me, just like you said you'd do at first. I mean, I almost studied it, but merchandising turned out to be the better fit for me. Besides, that's not the point. Stellifier was never your big fandom like it was for me. I used to have Neon Parfait on replay all the time whenever you'd come over to study. And you'd always keep forgetting they sang it. Well, they had different sound back then. Now that I've had to listen to some of their newer music, they honestly sound great. Of course they do. And if every group would ever deserve a second chance, it should be them. I really don't want to push you to share more than you can, but there's got to be at least one tiny morsel of details you could give me. Just as advertised, Hawkins is one wild ride. I blurted out as seamlessly, so seamlessly that even Elijah sets his ring aside in complete delight. Oh, really? Hawkins? As in my bro? No. Elijah, that's my man. That's my man. Huh? Since when was he yours? Don't you remember? He was my first bias. I had my phone all over covered with photos of him. Oh, and don't you remember when I even named my school violin after him too? Elijah, honey. Oh, I'm starting to remember. He only picked up the violin because he used to play it too. Oh my god. Oh, the tears I cried for that boy back then. Now that I look back, I really do think he's the reason why I go for that type of guy, you know? Elijah. Oh, instead of going after those types of guys, how about you start going to therapy, buddy? Remember when I dated that one guitarist, or the drummer for that Soteria cover band? I don't know what it says about me for remembering his life more vividly than my own school days, but somehow I do. So, do you think Hawkins is the one who started that trend? I have to say so. And you know, if I play my cards right, I might finally get my shot with the one and only. No, you won't, because he's mine. So, tell me more about him. Well, I just told you, he's exactly like you'd imagine, but I still have yet to know if that's a good thing or not. Why is my nose itchy? How could it possibly be anything but a good thing? It's great to know that he's still as authentic as he used to be, which is why I loved him in the first place. He's authentic, alright. He keeps trying to get me to interview him while riding on his motorcycle. What? He's actually letting you ride on Madame before? Oops, maybe I've said too much. On the contrary, Elijah looks practically thrilled out of his seat to latch onto this juicy bit of detail. Ah, to be in your shoes out there. To even just have a second to let that wind hit my face while I'm digging my hands into those hips. Okay. Okay. Those hips was our breast things and my body pushed up against his. God, that's like one step away from just getting down to... Oh, wait, so that's why he keeps insisting we do it on a motorcycle? Well, Elijah keeps gushing to himself and backtracking to every time Hawkins and I have traveled on that motorcycle together. Sipping his drink, Elijah finally notices I've gone quiet once more. So, when are you going to see them again? I have some interviews scheduled with some of them for tomorrow. Oh? And now one for tonight? Tonight? Whatever would give you that idea? Oh, nothing. Just how else can you explain those two coming this way? Ah! Spooky! Hi, Michael! And Hawkins, I guess. Hi, baby! So I'm going for Hawkins, right? I just realized my thumbnail. Huh. Oh my god, this is my first clickbait. I've made it as a YouTuber. Anyways, before I can ask, Elijah points me over to Hawkins and Michael striding over to the bar. Both of them catch my eye in an instant until I notice Hawkins' gaze drift over to Elijah and he picks up the pace at once. Tababa. Against me. Talk about having work follow you home. At least this is the fun type of work. Even before they've reached our end of the bar, Hawkins is already casting a grin over at Elijah. Be a luck or a bloody good raider. I know, just struck gold. Now, what could you pretty things be doing here alone at the bar? Excuse me? I was just about to ask you two about that. Do they know each other? Wait. I think they might actually know each other. If you like the truth, it's that I insisted on a proper Italian restaurant with an actual dinner menu. This place has plenty of decent food. You've just gotta close your eyes, imagine it's pasta, and you're good. I demand a proper pasta, Hawkins. Besides, you said you were just going to check in with the staff. That I am going to do, but first, how am I to ignore these lovely things? Has anybody here taken care of you properly yet? Just when Elijah looks about ready to melt, I raise my glass to give him an answer. The bartenders have already been gracious tonight. I don't doubt that. But I know if I were in charge for tonight, I would have fixed you both up with a little something with a little more of my flavor. But first, you just gotta tell me whether you prefer the sweet or the spicy. I need to put him inside a cannon and shoot him out into space. Oh my god. But if I like both, Elijah, stand up! Elijah, stand up, boy! Elijah, stand up! Much to nobody's surprise, Hawkins moves right in between me and Elijah to get a better look at each other. How surprised should I pretend to be when he's gushing about this story to Frey tomorrow? Spotting the scene before me, I know better than to do anything else but get back to my drink. From the corner of my eye, I spy Michael doing roughly the same as we both quietly listen. Well, with the way I make drinks, I tend to go with the spicier than the sweet. And if sweet's what you desire, then there's always a chance I might make it a little too sugary. Unless that's your thing. Honestly, I couldn't care less as long as what you prefer. It's the same way I've always felt about your music. So really am speaking with a fan. Not just any fan. You're on my binder, my phone, and my violin case. I would have tattooed your face on my hip, except I don't think my school would have let me. Never mind, Elijah. Never mind. Well, there's always now, isn't there? I'd even like to think I'll have an even better face that you could ink just about anywhere on you. As Elijah giggles. Elijah, stand up! Michael can barely keep a straight face at their best friend anymore. Reel it in a little, Hawkins. Nobody should be tattooing anything until we've at least gotten a proper comeback single out. Well, since we're almost there, then it sounds like a certain beauty here will be visiting the ink shop pretty soon, doesn't it? Oh, me? I don't know if I wanted to tattoo at all anymore, but maybe it was a little convincing. You know, like if you wanted to come along and then maybe celebrate with dinner. Elijah. It's surreal to be watching Elijah living out his fandom dreams, and with Hawkins of all people, Elijah definitely went on AO3 back then and would read like Hawkins' X-Reader fics. I really don't know how I could have forgotten that he'd been his favorite at one point, and now look at them. Michael and I might as well be heading out for pasta at this point, and thus she wouldn't even notice. I suppose one might think I'd be the one with a better access to them, but this moment alone proves them wrong. I can still hear them murmuring above the dance music thumping across the club, even as I try to focus on my drink instead. Once again, I find Michael doing the same, except this time they offer me a smile as a consolation. Sorry about that, he does this a lot. So I've noticed. We both turn back to them, only to find Hawkins surprisingly finding the willpower to start pulling away from the conversation she had behind the bar. Elijah finally returns to me and all. Oh my god, I think I'm in love. So soon? I mean, yes, no, we need to date, but he's wow. Like, wow, really wow. You know, maybe I'll wake up feeling differently once 2 nights drinks settle down, but still. If he ever knocks at my door, just call me a flying squirrel. I wonder if it's not too late to ask the bartender to fix your friend up a tonic, Altair. Honestly, I could just make Hawkins ask them for one. Is there really a tonic strong enough to undo flying squirrel levels of infatuation? If there isn't, then we better start researching it now before our re-debut. I love Michael so much. Then maybe we could save some lives along the way. If we try to get a bartender's attention, Hawkins soon returns whistling to himself. He walks straight past me, yet shoots a wink at Elijah before laying his head on Michael's shoulder. Alright, your highness. I made you wait on your pasta long enough. I just needed to be sure the crew's been going strong even without me around. You have a shift tomorrow with them, don't you? Not anymore. I thought I'd keep it low-key for a bit until we know what's going on after our re-debut. The crew still said that drinks for us are always on the house though, so that's what's most important. Anyways, you should start calling for that reservation if you like. And then I'll be seeing the two of you soon. Hawkins turns to us, ready to each take our hands. Elijah doesn't hesitate to offer his, yet it takes me a second when he leans over to me. I do believe that you and I have plans tomorrow, don't we? If you're talking about your another interview, then I'll be there early for it. Oh, and here I thought it was during lunch. Well, you can make it a breakfast run then. I'll be sure to bring an extra helmet just for you. I turn away as he chuckles to himself, then shoots another daring wing at Elijah. Can't help but sigh lovingly while watching them start to leave. Ah, just wow. Can't believe I finally got to meet my first bias, and we totally didn't even talk about music. I still can't believe you get to shadow that hunk every day, and you're seeing him early tomorrow too? I thought that was the plan, but I just realized that it sounds like he has time in the afternoon. At least if we did it then, I wouldn't have to risk being late from my morning meeting to the studio. Give me a minute. On a whim, I go to check if they've left yet. Spotting them approaching the dance floor, I slip out of my seat before Elijah can ask. With no time to spare, I make my way over to them, the neon lights blaring into my eyes. The music shows no mercy either, yet I persist until I can finally tap Hawkins on his sleeve. Oh, you again. Tell me that you and your dear friend are down to join my pasta harem for tonight? Overhearing him, Michael scoffs and keeps walking ahead, opting to wait for him by the door. So, shall we? Actually, I was wondering if your noon was still free for tomorrow. What if I say it is? Would you be willing to get some more pasta with me then? Although the thought of you keeping my morning busy sounds pretty good to me too. I only agreed to a morning slot because Lorelei said that's the only time you were free. But if you're free for lunch then... I keep trying to explain, but I can't tell he's not even listening. He keeps looming over to Elijah, musing to himself in silence, until without warning he then swings back to me with an inviting tilt of his hips. So when are you gonna say it? Say what? You think I wasn't watching you earlier? While hip tattoos may be up my alley, I still somehow end up being drawn to the cute ones who like pretending they're wallflowers. I don't think this is a positive one. I also don't think this one's either. I don't know, I feel like a third one. You really want to know why we're so quiet? It's because we're observing charmers like you at work. Ah, so you're probably to just be as sneaky as I am. That's good, very good, I can work with that. Chuckling, he starts circling and with a little space we have before bumping into the tables nearby. So, what did you learn about me from all this? Surely not just that I'm some charmer when you could easily read about that elsewhere. You don't seem to mind being so free towards your fans. Even you ought to know that not every idol likes being reminded of their old work. That would entail your friend mentioning more about it, if we're being honest. Not that I mind him focusing on the other important aspects of me. In fact, maybe it's sometimes for the better that there are a subset of fans who just prefer thinking of me as the incubus who do just about anything to accept their offerings. I'm sure that version of me does just about the same things as this one usually does on a hot day. Am I allowed to quote you on that? You're so cheeky, Altair. I can work with that too. In fact, maybe it's better if I leave you this. Moving in closer, Hawkins almost rests his chin against me as he brushes a lock of hair behind my ear. What if all this time you thought I was just chattering about hip tattoos and wondering whether your friend was single, when in fact I was noticing the way you curl your lips while you're thinking. You're not the only one who's a keen observer, darling. I'll make sure you remember that every day you have me cornered. Pulling back, Hawkins chuckles before heading over to catch up to Michael. He's already trying to figure out the innocent excuse he'll have to make, except that makes two of us. I somehow find my way back to my seat while Elijah waits with bated breath. So, what happened? He said something about the schedule. Oh, that's it? Or are you just going to pull the NDA line on me again? Glancing over to the door, I watch Hawkins and Michael leave us elusively as they came in. This time, it's not because of any NDA. I just need more time to figure them out for myself, especially when it comes to Hawkins' game. Oh. Oh, hello. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we have Hawkins here for sure. I mean, this one also has Hawkins in it. Oh, so we'll do day 2 and then we'll call it for today. I'm sitting nearby while Hawkins and Michael pour through the racks of clothes left for them by their stylist. Or rather, it's more like Hawkins pulling out a new outfit every 5 seconds, then wrestling with himself on whether he should put the rest back. Michael doesn't seem at all surprised. For the umpteenth time, Hawkins falls in love with the next piece of the rack. Oi, your highness. I think this is it. This is the one. To Michael's horrors, he pulls out a metallic red ensemble with too many ties and belts to count. They almost don't want to even look at it in the eye while shaking their head. Put that back. In fact, we shouldn't even be acknowledging its existence. He knows what it's done, and it should reflect on its behavior alone. Huh? But they told me that this one just came off the runway. We've been to plenty of runway shows for you to know this isn't an argument to have. Okay, fine. You've gotta admit it's a beauty. Just look at the studded belts and the jumpsuit style. You think a white hat would go with this? If you make me look at it one more time, I will burst into noxious flames. Oh. Okay. Wait, you've at least gotta see the studded cut. No, just no. As Michael tries to avert their eyes, Hawkins flashes the jumpsuit in my view instead. Tell me this isn't something you'd want to be writing about while on the red carpet. If I was wearing this, I bet you anything you'd be trying to interview me in a heartbeat. I'm not the one who usually corresponds at those events. That said, knowing who in our team does, so... no comment. No comment? As in, it's too hot for immortal eyes? You'll have to ask them next time. Sitting nearby, Michael groans under her breath. Taking notice, Hawkins sets the jumpsuit down in his favorite pile, then returns back to the racks with an idea. You know, maybe you just don't see the vision yet. What if we matched, Michael? How about you choose the silver, and I'll take the red? Michael's almost too afraid to look. Oh, poor Michael. Don't do this to them. They can sense Hawkins inching towards them, ready to surprise them with another studded abomination. The moment they spotted, Michael's already shoving it aside. No, no, no. Oh, come on. I'm trying to get you to understand my vision here. If you think I'm gonna stick out, then you and Frey might as well match so we all get the story going. Hawkins, that is a plunging neckline. So? You can easily wear it. The point is, you want the crowd taking inventory of all the assets, not just the one. The one? Honestly, this is only making me cling to my original choice. I'm not about to be running around half naked on the red carpet just because you're feeling frisky. There's plenty of people out there who already have certain expectations from us. You don't think maybe it might be a little easier dealing with them if we gave them something to talk about? I'd like for them to keep their eyes from the neck up, that's for certain. Well, then we're just gonna find a really good piece of jewelry to catch their eyes. I'm still not wearing that. If I have to choose something else, it's got to have some sense of taste. It's got to have my sense of taste. And how do you know if it really isn't your taste? I, for one, have never seen you wear something like this yet. Otherwise, I get it if you don't like seeing yourself in it. I have worn something like that before. Wait, you did? How do I not remember? You think I remember something as legendary as... Hey, don't get me to drop this. Seriously, if you want me to put my fashion flair on, you know what this is. Pure avant-garde goodness. I wouldn't be recommending it if I didn't think we could single-handedly receive the glam rock jumpsuit era the second we hit the carpet. I really don't think I'll be suffering much by missing out on that venture. Running out of options, Hawkins turned to me once more with that wild look in his eyes. Altair, darling? Oh no, he's trying to use a sugar voice with me. I start getting ready for him, knowing, well, that he's going to try with me next. Darling, you're a person of culture, aren't you? Wait, no, you don't even need to affirm me of that, I just know it. I've been noticing your work outfits lately, and no matter what you say, I know you've still covered plenty of scoops during a red carpet night. I've already told you that I'm not the correspondent for those. Okay, fine, you aren't, but you're still a better option than Frey at the moment. So, please, 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 could you just do me one single scrumptious favor? Could you convince Michael here to put this one piece on for the sake of the dress code? I mean, I feel like this one gives me with Michael. I feel like this neutral. I think this one gives me with Hawkins. So far, the ones I think give me was Hawkins. I felt like the last one. They look so. As much as the studded jumpsuit keeps staring into my vision, there's one thing I can't stop looking at: a plunging neckline. They look so glorious in it. I heard that all the way from here. Please tell me you're joking. Well, I'm sure you look presentable in anything you choose. No need to be gentle with the compliments. Frankly, Michael could use the support to finally see the light. Light? We're always in the spotlights now. You know what I mean. You're hot. Don't you ever say that again. What? You're star hot! You're good looking, smashing, you've got that bite. And sometimes I feel like you need some kind of greeting card to remind yourself of it more often. Not that I don't appreciate greeting cards, but you really don't need to remind me of something I already know. I love you, Pookie. What? How could you say that when I... wait, hold on. Hold on. I've got this brilliant idea, just brilliant idea. Oh, his gears are turning. What if we had just starting out with these covered up suits, and then slowly, you start showing a little more. First, some more neck, and maybe elbows, collarbones, hips, until we finally get into abs, midriffs, see-throughs. It'll be like a whole campaign listening to tease people into seeing what your highness will show up next. You mean, like a teaser? Oh, that's a perfect name for it. I see it's genius that we're coming up with. Don't you think so, Altair? I better give a run for anybody's marketing. It takes me a moment to realize that he's actually being serious. Well, as long as Michael is willing, I'll settle for being allowed to wear a suit now and deal with the rest later. Don't think this means I'm throwing in the whole towel yet, Hawkins. You know me. I like it when you keep me on my toes. As much as I really want to go with some metallic red for myself, I thought they brought us more racks than these ones. Are they not in the other office room? Oh, is that where they are? Or to go see what else they've got in there. Setting his pile aside, Hawkins ventures off in search of those other racks. As soon as he's out of sight, Michael pulls out their phone. Would you excuse me as well for a moment? I just need to check up on something. I'll be here. I should be quick then. Taking their leave, I watch as they enter an open office at the opposite hall. With both of them away, I decide to keep myself busy by reviewing my notes from today. A few minutes later, Hawkins returns with 2 new outfits under his arm. Hey, so I found these ones for where's Michael? They said they'd be back shortly. Oh, did they now? Dropping everything, Hawkins storms down the hall with an annoyed look on his face. Oh, I think Hawkins just found Michael. Why does Hawkins sound upset? Hearing muffled voices, I set my notes down and try to listen closely. So what? Now what does he want? That's not what the conversation was about. Uh-huh, sure. Just remember, he knows what he's doing by calling at this hour. And here I saw you did too. Oh please, you know it's not like that. For your information, I do filter his messages. Would you still read them? Michael goes silent, leaving Hawkins to let out a jaded sigh. Just, you know what I'm going to say? And you know what I say it in the first place, right? I do, but I can assure you that I don't need to hear it. Sure, we'll see about that, but just whatever. With an unrestrained sigh, Hawkins marches off the other way. Oh, he's angry for sure. A few moments ago, they were here goofing off as friends. Now they sound even colder than strangers, and all because of a phone call? It takes Michael a few minutes to return first, albeit even more low-key than before. They give me a smile, yet it's a far cry from assuring me that everything's perfect. Sorry for taking longer than I thought. Every time I think it's going to be a quick thing, their voice drips off as they take one last scroll through their phone. Something's definitely not right anymore. Oh, Michael, buddy, what's wrong, baby? What's wrong, baby? What's wrong? No, I just wish I knew why. Like, as much as we're trying to romance Hawkins now, like, I don't want to leave them like this. Talk to me. What's really going on? Michael stops and gives me a look in surprise. You're being serious right now? I wouldn't have said something if I didn't think you need someone right now. How do I know it would be off the record? It could be, if that's what you wanted. Michael looks as if they want to say something, but at the last minute they revert to one of their usual smiles. Let's see now, what do I want? Somehow that's a funny thought up to me. They circle me for a moment until holding themselves against one of the racks. Lost in a sea of colors, their expression still bears gray. Honestly, it's alright. Don't think as if we're hurting or anything, or that we haven't been here before. I'd hate for you to think that we don't know how to handle our own issues, even more so that I can't hold my own. I wasn't offering because I thought that. Still, I like to keep your impression highly of me for as long as I can. A few moments later, Hawkins comes strolling back, whistling to himself. He set a few more items down on his favorite pile before starting to sort them through without a hitch. Wait, is he still angry? Oi, Michael? Yes? I brought this bag from the other rack for you. It's also a jumpsuit, but I thought you might like the neckline more. Not as much abs, see? This time Hawkins holds up an aqua jumpsuit decked with an ombre of sparkles along the shoulders. Michael gives a visceral reaction as if ready to hide, then all of a sudden, I spot a certain glint in their eyes. With a single sigh, they succumb to a nod instead. I suppose I can give that one a try. Only if you want to. I'm starting to think that I might want to go with the black leather suit instead of the jumpsuit, but we've still got time to choose. Here, catch. He gently touches the jumpsuit over to Michael with a grin. Michael not only catches it, but gives him the same smile back. Is this their way of making up? Or are they just doing this because I'm here? For some reason, if it were anybody else, I'd be thinking the latter. But seeing them both now going through the rack together, maybe a part of me really hopes that whatever it is that broke them apart before won't happen again. At least, that's my hope. Off the record. Okay, we did progress with Hawkins. That's good. Michael, hi! Ooh.
Hi. Are you perhaps free at this moment? My hands are a bit full with returning all the outfits Hawkins had selected for me, and I could use some help.
Hence the voice message? With your hands on being free?
Yes. I often use Siri since it's pretty convenient for sending messages or taking notes for me when I'm tied up. Anyways, would you be interested in helping?
Sure, I'm around the office, I'm gonna help.
Your assistance may lead to some interesting information that might be helpful for your work.
Are we talking story time?
I promise it'll be an interesting story or two about our past.
There's that.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Oh, their voice is so cute. Their voice is so cute. Oh my god. Oh. Their voice is so cute. Stumbling out of the bar, the first thing I hear is Hawkins roaring with laughter beside me. He can't keep himself from giggling, even as the door almost clocks him on the way out. Oh god, oh heavens, oh sweet cheesecake crafted by the banshees lurking in the streets. Hold on, the beast wants to be led back inside. Why is your tail fluffed up? What demons did you see? I know, are you okay? Are you okay? Okay, Mimi. My god, Oh, look up. I think you got startled by something outside. Outside being the hallway, granted. But they tend to get into things they're not supposed to, so. Banshees? There's banshees here. Oh, my head. Oh, my head indeed. How many have I had to believe that even for a second? Squinting past the glare of the street lights, I somehow managed to gain my bearings to face Hawkins. He's still stumbling his way to me like a baby lamb, and with every joy of an impish child. My god, did you surprise me back there? You need to be looking around, darling. Yes, I'm talking about you. Actually, I was trying to look for the way back from here. A likely story, but I say they, we've crossed many paths today to suddenly start putting on masks again. Unless they're a part of tonight's other plans. Excuse me. Only if you're thinking of a vitamin C mask, Hawkins. But isn't vitamin C overrated? I'm frankly more of a demon myself. You know what they say. Sunlight breeds, it breeds, bread. As we approach the next block, Hawkins goes quiet in a trance. For a good minute, he merely hums to himself, taking note of the street lights. You know, I wonder how good would these all be for swinging on. That depends. Are any of us drunk enough for that? Wait, do we have to be drunk nowadays to turn the city into a jungle gym? Last time I checked, it was already our jungle gym. There's just a whole lot of extra kids running around it, and most of them want to push me off when I go on the swings. Now, I'm really starting to wonder how much we drank. I should have taken inventory before we left, but I was too busy shoving my card at the bartender before Hawkins could get in line for karaoke. And to think this was all because he said he'd answer my questions over a pint. It was more of a pitcher, and 2 more for him. Okay, so update on my cats. One of them is on the other side of the door, and this one's inside my room on the other side of the door, and they're trying to fight through the door, except the door is closed. Oh boy, they're gonna start chasing each other. I don't know what's going on. They're usually calmer at this time. They'll start going crazy until later. It's only a matter of time, however, before I'll be on my way home. And Hawkins here will have to frolic back to his loft. Hey darling, where do you think you're going? Home is the other way. You mean your home? Mine is in the other direction, and thankfully so. I do believe you have your wires crossed. Home, my dear, is that way, with me. I still have time to be a gentleman. How many fingers am I holding up? You really think that's going to work on me? I might change my choice depending on how this goes. Alright Hawkins, you still have time to be a gentleman. Mind you, it's not more than a couple seconds, but it's still a chance. I was not inviting you to warm up in my home a gentleman move. If anything, it's been a practice held for centuries. I don't know if... I'm gonna go with this. Ah, fuck it. You really think that's going to work on me? I don't know, is it? It certainly didn't work on me in journalism school, that's for sure. But this is your first year in the Academy of Saint Hawkins the Unsaintly. Surely you know that this isn't at all a line? Are you sure about that? Sure, you know that this isn't at all a line. He's a single twitch away from bursting into laughter, I can just tell. How have you managed this kind of self-control with as drunk as I know he really is? It's truly a mystery. Oh, come on. My dear, can you see I'm really offering you my hospitality? My apartment is much closer than yours, and you can expect there to be proper lighting and heating, all courtesy of Michael's inheritance, mind you. Never become an idol for the money. Not only that, but we do offer other basic accommodations, including water, hot coffee, and a world-class tumble on my queen-size four-poster bed, in whichever order you'd prefer. Okay, now I think it really is time for me to go. So, listen, it's been great, but do you think you can get yourself back? Nope, too late. I'd be a fool if I let you walk home alone. Let's Hawkins to the rescue. Mind you, I don't do this just for anybody. Now, where have I heard that before? Instead of answering, Hawkins merely grins before taking my hand. Come along, we mustn't make a sound. We're just a short walk up ahead, but we want to take the other block away. No, not that way, let's go in from Frisia Street. He tucks my hand underneath his arm, then carries on whistling to himself. All the while, I keep wondering why we're walking along the perimeter of this high-rise rather than simply going inside it. What if he really is that drunk that he can't recognize his own loft anymore? I want to tap him on the shoulder when Hawkins pulls me in closer, resting his hand on my waist. Come, we'll use this door. It says machine room. Ah, good observation as always, but you still have yet to read between the lines. To the untrained eye, only mechanics should be venturing in here. But if you simply open the door... To my surprise, Hawkins reveals a perfectly normal staircase leading up the floors. Suddenly, you feel a little foolish for trusting every sign you see. Wow, I'm surprised I didn't think of it sooner. I said that the first time. I forgive you though. Now, come along, we have a bit of a walk before we can use one of the elevators past the first floor. I decide to let Hawkins lead the way, as he at least seems aware of the stairs ahead. I'm so surprised I didn't think to scrutinize the machine room door a little more. What do I note it? The entire way up, Hawkins is surprisingly quiet. But that doesn't stop him at all from casting a devilish smile at me every other minute. He's got something planned, that's for sure. Then again, he shares his loft with Frey and Michael. I forgot about Frey in this entire thing. So, what if they're already home? As soon as we arrive at the door, Hawkins wastes no time welcoming me inside first. Presto prospero! I, the magician, have arrived! Hawkins takes one step, only to already start tripping on the first piece of furniture inside. Heading for a hard landing, he tries to break his fall with a fit of giggles. Oh god, Hawkins! But once I spring into my own wobbly attempt at a rescue, I rush over and try to grasp him as my fingers manage to take hold of him by the neckline. Give me one good reason not to let go. Give me one good reason not to let go. You think a man in my state can come up with a masterpiece of a reason? You remind me of Cedric, that's what. And they once told me there'd only be one of like him. Well, I'm not- wait, who's Cedric? Who is anybody? I'm just hanging by a thread. I suppose your time for giving me a reason is up then? Just let me launch, will you? With that, I decide to call his bluff, so I let go. Before hitting the floor, Hawkins immediately springs to life and gets ready to roll. Yet for as much control as he wants to have, he still manages to tumble headfirst for the bottom of the couch. Oh no. Yikes, now that was a thud. I wait for a sound from one of the other rooms, but to my relief, there's nothing. All I can hear is Hawkins groaning under his breath before shushing himself on his own. Psst, you've been a bad boy, Hawkins, a very bad boy. Now look at you, you've woken up the angels. You know, if you keep your voice down, maybe nobody will. They're already up. They are? Follow his gaze over to the rooms in the hall, but it's too dark to notice if they even have their lights on. But Muse Hawkins now crawls over to me and prods me to kneel beside him. You see, my dear, they know the routine. We work hard, I play harder. They play hard, I play harder. I play hard, I only get harder. I can only wonder what kind of hangover you'll have tomorrow. Oh, come on, I've outgrown those. That was like the first thing the party scenes here taught us. Well, except Michael, but they're a darling, so they're exempt. Frey, on the other hand, makes for quite the wingman on a good night out. Oh, the wingman on a good night out on the town. At least, it's the Frey of my dreams he does. But let's not talk about dreams now, not when you're far from a dream. In fact, it's been a while since I've had reality. Someone can enter at any second, and yet, somehow, beyond comprehension, time seems to stand still once Hawkins touches me. Oh? I turn to him, waiting for his next line. Instead, he brings himself closer, penetrating the darkness to let his lips graze along my cheek. I can tell he's searching for my... What? Buddy, you are drunk. We are both drunk. Buddy, no. I can tell he's searching for my lips, a desire palpable in the same space between us. Yet, just when his lips come towards mine... God, I don't think I drank enough. Growing into himself, he collapses towards my shoulder instead. Really, I don't think I did. If I had, then I already would have... You would have what, Hawkins? Suddenly, Hawkins moves back to me, my gaze. His fingers are traveling along my arms now, as if ready to worship me. As he finally positions himself against my lips once more. If I had, I would have had you on this couch by now. And I'd be letting you pull me by the collar straight to my room, where there'd be nothing gentlemanly about what I'd be enjoying with you. It'd be nothing for a bright-minded angel to witness, or even a clever flower. But servicing a mortal with a curious appetite could very much sink his teeth into. So tell me, have I made you want to cut off your own wings? Or shall I take you inside and strip them down myself? Oh, okay. All of a sudden, we hear banging coming from both rooms down the hall. Then come the voices as I watch Hawkins light up with a certain twinkle in his eyes, which can only mean one thing. We've been caught. For the last time. You know the house rules, Hawkins. You can only let someone else stay over if you'd actually restock the groceries for breakfast tomorrow. And because a certain someone didn't buy eggs today, no sleepovers for you. And now, you don't even eat eggs. Still, rules are rules. So no sleepover. What if I say yes to sleepover? Hawkins runs back in victory as I continue to watch him yelling from across the hall, his balance somehow miraculously returning. Hawkins screams back in victory as I continue to watch him yelling from across the hall, his balance somehow miraculously returning. Meanwhile, I can hear the frustration in Michael's voice. Yet, I'm hoping that as much as I'll hear of them before they seem to come out from their room. Ugh, Frey, go tell him. I have an early morning as it is already. Tell him what? Weren't you trying to get him to shut up too just now? I'm only banging the door because you're making noise. You're not the only one with an early morning. What about Hawkins? I'm sure he'll go to sleep once we stop making a racket. So, good night, Hawkins. Oh, and it's your turn to pick up the eggs. Eggs and milk, got it. You too. This is still my apartment, you know. Yes, and we love that you pity us enough to let us eat your non-existent eggs and drink your milk. So sleep tight. I know I will too. Whoever's out there with him, you can still make a run for it. It takes everything in me to hold my tongue, yet that doesn't stop Hawkins from breaking into a snicker. Well, there you have it. You've been given permission to leave our cave of carnal wonders. You really sure don't want to at least take the couch till you can head back in the morning? Honestly, after what just happened, I think I'm plenty sober enough to make it home. Fair enough. But before you go, while helping me to my feet, Hawkins swoops in and presses a soft kiss to my cheek. There. Now you can't say you didn't come all this way without getting some action. You can even include this in your tell-all. Or maybe you'll consider keeping this our little secret? Chuckling to himself, Hawkins continues guiding me towards the door. He looks over at me one more time, now without a shred of drunken stupor lingering across his face. Be sure to stay safe, alright? If you find yourself doubting you'll make it there, however, there's a machine room door you now know that'll lead you straight back to me. Without a doubt, it'll always lead you back to me. Oh, why did it go down? Why did it go down? Oh. Why did it go down? No. that's all for today. Because my voice is giving out on me. Anyways, no streams next week because I'm busy. So I can't make it to streams. However, week after that we're back to normal. We will do art on Friday. On Saturday we do Cult of the Lamb, and we will continue Stellifier on Sunday of the week after. Oh yeah. Having said that, leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. You've been on YouTube, you know how it works. And I'll see y'all a week from now. Bye bye! Bye bye!